Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamaruzzaman Sahab Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Thursday, the 29th of Rabi'ul Awwal 1446, 3rd of October 2024. Hazrat Wala is saying that our path has 5 principles: fear of Allah in privacy and public. Fear of Allah in privacy and in public. Number 2, following the Sunnah in our words and actions. In our words and actions. So you fear Allah in private and in public. U'budullah ka'annaka tarah. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you can see Him. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, towards the end, his bahas and his discussion was more on ittibai sunnah. He would emphasize so much on these adab and these etiquettes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his sunnats in wudu, in istinja, etc. Which he didn't have initially, but towards the end his emphasis on this was tremendous. So Allah Ta'ala is watching our every harkat, our every move. Number 3, remain independent of people whether they embrace us or turn away from us. Number 4, being pleased with Allah's decree whether we are in poverty or in prosperity. Har cheh az dost, mirasad nekost. Whatever comes from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is only khair and nur and barakat in it. And turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in comfort and discomfort. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab was very meticulous when he would make his wudu. He would say, like how your wudu is, that's how your namaz will be. In kuntum tuhibbun Allah fattabi'uni yuhbibkum Allah wa yaghfir lakum. His kalam was on that, following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So fear of Allah will be realized through turning to Allah and remaining steadfast on the obedience to Allah. Sunnah will be realized by upholding it and through sound character. Independence from people will be realized through patience and reliance on Allah. So when a person truly makes sabr and his attention is not on the makhluk and what they have to say and to do, then he would turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely. So turning to Allah will be realized through praising Him and being grateful to Him during comfort and beseeching Him at the time of calamity. So this dunya can change. And we can do this, that and the other. However, this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unique. It is that very same path. أَقَامَهَا اللَّهُ وَأَدَامَهَا. May Allah establish it and keep it forever. Now all these qualities that we are speaking about, this is exactly why people went to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. In fact, somebody asked the family of Hazrat Tanvi about him and they said, listen, this was after his studies, they said he's gone to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. And then the answer was, but why and how come? He just completed all his studies now. Was there a need to go and do this or that or the other? So the family people then answered by saying that up till now, he was studying, but now he's gone to actually get well done and cooked, roasted, meaning completion and perfection. So Allah Ta'ala make us mukhlis, seekers of Him. The person, okay, now this next 5 principles here are based, okay, the above 5 principles are based on another 5 principles. Number 1, lofty courage. Number 2, protection and sanctity. Number 3, laudable service. Number 2, total resoluteness. And number 5, magnifying bounties. The person of lofty courage will enjoy a lofty position. The one who preserves the sanctity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have his own sanctity protected. And the one who renders laudable services will enjoy honor and reverence. The one who remains resolute will enjoy perpetual guidance. The one who considers the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be magnificent will thank Him for them. He will then be eligible for more bounties as per Allah's promise. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will give you more. I will give you more. You know, this place here is for this, so that you can become mukhlis in your search to Allah. You can become mukhlis in your search to Allah. So if that's not found here, then what are we going to do? So a person, if he makes shukr for his salat, Allah Ta'ala will increase him in his salat. To say Allah or take Allah's name just once is better than this entire world and whatever it contains. Allah Ta'ala forgive us for our be'adabi. When there is be'adabi, then the person, tawfiq and hidayat is snatched away from him. Okay, let's continue. Seeking knowledge and to practice on Allah's command. Seeking knowledge to practice on Allah's command. Remaining in the company of seniors and brothers in the path to acquire insight. Abstaining from concessions and rationalizations to preserve deen. Number 4, setting aside time for Allah's remembrance to acquire the presence of heart. And being wary of the carnal self in every matter for salvation from carnal desires and safety from error. Safety from error. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to talk and make much bahas on ikhlas. कामयाबी तो काम से होगी, न कि हुस्न कलाम से होगी, फिक्र के इह्तिमाम से होगी, जिक्र के इल्तिजाम से होगी. So you have to do something if you want to be successful. So here, the author is saying, and Hazrat Wala is reading, that a person needs to set aside time for Allah's remembrance to acquire presence of heart. You need to set time for that. Now, a person doesn't want to stay absent from madrasa because maybe his wages will be deducted. And when he comes home and there isn't enough money, there would be cries and complaints from the side of the house, wife and children. But when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we leave out this and we leave out that. We leave out this and we leave out that. How come? And why is this? Allah Ta'ala ke liye zabt awqat nahi? So we need to preserve and set aside time for Allah's remembrance. Okay, the ailments of the carnal self are treated in 5 ways. Lightening the stomach of food. Don't eat so much that you become lazy and you can't move around. Holding on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when faced with a calamity. You know, Hazrat Maulana Abrarul Haq, on one occasion I went to him and I said that this work couldn't get done. Hazrat, And then he said, listen, did you even make effort for it? Make an effort for it and then say this year, what can I tell you about my relationship with Hazrat Maulana Abrarul Haq Sahab? I went to him and I turned to him and he made what type of Islah, etc. Distancing oneself from places of temptation when there is a fear of falling into them. Constant istighfar coupled with durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in privacy and in public. Remaining in the company of someone who would steer one towards Allah or towards the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Finding such a person is quite rare. Now they have made it so easy for us in point form, and I've read this out to you. But it doesn't stop there. It's made easy, but we have to make azm, resolute intention, irada, and husn niyat, a good intention, and then Allah will give tawfiq. So Hazrat Thanvi, was he not reading Salat? He was reading Salat, but he went to the threshold of a Hazrat Haji Imdadullah and he put himself there. In the old days, it was that cause. For 6 months, they would go and sit at the feet of a sheikh. Allah Ta'ala give tawfiq in this time of ghaflat. There is deficiency, there is weakness. Ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness and get to work. Ask Allah for forgiveness for those deficiencies, or kaam par lag jao, get to work. I'm more in need of all of this. I'm saying it, I'm more in need of all of this. And that is actually why I'm saying this bayan. Allah Ta'ala give us afiyat in our deen. Ilahi maqsood man tuhi wa rizai tu muhabbat wa ma'rifat khud bideh. O Allah, my objective is you and your pleasure. Therefore bless me with your love and your recognition. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, his fikr for Islah was right until the end. And he was continuous in his mujahada, which was matloob. So he continued right until the end. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.